Families living in Gilgil and Nakuru East are still counting losses after their houses and premises were demolished by the Kenya Railways last night. The demolitions were carried out to pave way for expansion of a railway line. Let's speak now to our reporter Ibrahim Karanja. Ibrahim, another demolition, another outcry. What happened this time?
What happened yesterday, or actually this morning, is literally what we've also been seeing across in the various parts of the country along the old meter gauge railway. Demolitions by or believed to have been done by the Kenya Railways in a bid to revive. Remember, there's that intention to revive the old meter gauge railway, Nakuru to Kisumu, and all the way to Nairobi. And what has happened is, as we speak, the latest information we have is that residents of Njoro constituency as well have also voluntarily decided, and those who had their structures along the railway have voluntarily decided to move their structures so that they can incur the least amount of loss that they possibly can. Because if they keep waiting, and the demolitions are conducted now by the Kenya Railways officials, then they might incur a huge loss. So they are doing that after their buildings or their structures were marked X, and this is after now the residents of the areas you mentioned, Nakuru East, to be specific, an area called Mashini, and Mbaruku area, that is in Gilgil, as well as the structures that were along the railway in Gilgil town were demolished this morning. The people we've spoken to say that the demolition people came at around 3 a.m. and demolished their business structures, and some whose houses have not been touched were actually told to move, because the images we saw, or the images we captured for our viewers, are also of people who are moving from their houses before the demolition squad comes bringing their structures down. But that is the latest. We know that some of the people we spoke to are saying that they acquired these parcels of land from as far back as 1997. Some actually are showing us title deeds. And of course, with such issues, you cannot quickly establish how genuine their titles are, or how genuine their story is. But people are claiming that they were not informed, they were not given prior notice to move, especially those people who are today moving their stuff from their houses. Now, this happens months after some other such demolition or similar demolition was done along the James Gishuru Road here in Nakuru town. And at that particular time, it really affected businesses because this was along the highway, the Nakuru Eldoret highway, and lots of businesses were brought down, clubs, churches, petrol stations, and the owners later on went to court. This is a matter that is currently in court. It has not been, a solution has not been found yet. But that is what has befallen residents of this particular area, and it's something we are still following up on, perhaps to see whether we can get a comment from Kenya Railways and know perhaps if what the residents are saying, that they were not given notice, is indeed true. And for those who are saying that they have title deeds, how long ago did they get their title deeds? I've also seen a school, that is Glasgow House Academy, which has also been brought down. I spoke to one of the officials of that particular school. She says that they have a lease with Kenya Railways of about 15 years, and she has the documentation. However, last night when this demolition team came, even her school was not spared. So they have to find for the people, at least 350 people who learn from that particular institution. Remember, it's only about 3 weeks to the national examination, so they have to quickly find a solution, Michelle.
And of course, like you mentioned, Ibrahim, this is a case that is already in court. Have we heard word from the railways service as to why the demolitions are still continuing despite a court case ongoing?
Well, Michelle, the court case that is currently on is of a different area, but still in Nakuru town, and that was actually in the CBD along James Gishuru Road. This is where demolitions were conducted in October last year. However, this particular place where today's demolition have taken place is a completely different place. So the cases in court are not related to the place where house demolished is. However, for those people who were affected earlier in October, those ones in town, they have still not yet found a way forward because they are battling, or they are having their issues heard in court. For the residents who have been affected today and the business people who have been affected today, I spoke to them and they said that going to court is one of the options that they are now facing, actually to see whether they will get compensation for their property. I spoke to a lady who was very emotional, breaking down and saying that her investment and her home was, plus everything, the material, and she was also constructing a different house, is about 20 million shillings, which has been brought down. Other people equating or valuing their property at around 5 million, 2 million shillings. And of course, they were emotional. They say they'll go to court. So that will make it, will actually see that we'll have a myriad of cases, or a number of cases from Nakuru against these particular demolitions from the Kenya Railway that will be filed by different people. The people from Gilgil town, the people from Baruk area, the people from Mashini area, and those people from Joro who today are being forced to bring down their structures by themselves so that they can incur a loss that is sort of less than they would if the demolition squad came to save them.
All right, so let's listen in now to what those residents there of Nakuru had to say over those demolitions.
Usiku leo saa 9 kuna mtu alikuja akagonga kwa gate akaniambia hatukuweka X hapa, nimekupea mpaka asubuhi saa 1 utoe vitu zako, tunataka kupomoa nyumba. Ndio nikaanza kupanga vitu na nilikuwa peke yangu. Nikapigia madada yangu, wamekuja, watu wamekuja kunisaidia, nimetafuta gari, nikaanza kuhamisha hivyo. Hawakutupea notice ati tuhamishe. Ni asubuhi wameniamusa ati toa vitu. Alikuja akasema wametoka kwa railway, wakatupeleka mpaka penye trakta ilikuwa inapomoa, wakaongea nao tena wakarudi tena wakatuambia tumewapea.
Elsewhere, more than 4,500 learners in Samburu County's primary and secondary schools are yet to report to